Are you leaving money on the table by not doing this one thing? We talk about how to increase our earnings on Amazon, Kindle, direct publishing all the time. And there's one thing that we don't talk about it, and it's time to talk about it. My name is Jenny Hansen Lane, and I'm a digital marketer, course creator, and building a passive income stream on KDP. Not so passive because I'm like in the weeds all the time, sharing with you guys what I learned to be able to increase our earnings from KDP, we need to take a step back to make sure that our end goal is we have the end goal in sight. We want to be able to make money, but we also want to be able to build a business. And part of building a business is having an email list for your customers. Now, we can't do that with Amazon, right? We can't be like, hey, come get my freebie. Well, can we? Right? In this video, I'm sharing how to leverage leads, and I'm using a technique called gamification, and I'm going to explain what this is and why you need it. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly what I've done and what you can do to implement. So the really important thing to remember is that we are in an ecosystem with KDP of buyers. These are book buyers. These are people that are willing to pay for information. So it's already a great start. We're not looking for these buyers on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or YouTube. Like, we are going on Amazon to find our buyers. So we know that they're people who actually spend money for things. The other parts of that is that they have a growth mindset. They want to get better at coloring. They want to get better at math. They want to be able to speak a different language. There's so many reasons why people buy books, but it is to get better and to learn. And that is a beautiful ecosystem to be in. Okay. So these people are spending money to learn or be entertained, really, right? So the interesting thing about this is we have a really big opportunity that we don't take advantage of, because these people want to learn and you have given them the book to do it. But what else can you do? Does it stop there? Does the relationship stop there? For many of you, it does. But when you have the bird's eye view of what you're really building, then that can really change your perspective and change your actions. So, gamification, let's talk about this because you've asked me about this before. I got certified in gamification during 2020 and 2021 because I'm a really competitive person and I wanted to figure out how to get people to go through more of my courses by incentivizing them. So, gamification is the emotional motivation for change. So, what can we do to incentivize people to do XYZ? You probably have heard the word gamify from video games, right? That's the whole point of video games, is to be rewarded for accomplishing X, Y, and Z. And then there's levels and there's badges and there's things that you unlock. And that same framework and methodology works inside of courses, and it works inside of businesses too. When you think about getting coupon codes and when you think about getting points for eating and shopping at a place, like, that's a real thing that we leverage. So everybody in the world is tuned into this radio station. If you've ever heard of the radio, it's, there's a line in the United States of FM, like there's AM and FM. And this radio station that everyone's tuned into is WIIFM. And that stands for What's in It for Me. You have to be able to talk to your customers what's in it for them. You could even use this tip, WIIFM, in your product descriptions on Amazon KDP. But in this specific context, we need to be able to tell people why we want them to come into our space, right? So we're using gamification, but we're also being very clear about what's in it for them. And then we're going to have two options to be able to leverage leads and siphon leads from Amazon KDP. We want to over deliver on more of what they want, or we're going to over deliver on their next problem. Anytime you buy something, you guys, you have a new problem. It's just the way the world works. When I buy a recipe book, now I have a huge problem because I have to go buy all the ingredients, right? Like, I love that problem actually. And when I buy a new outfit, I might need to buy new shoes to match. So a lot of times purchases are not just a one-time transaction. And we need to not think about that. We need to stop thinking about a one-time transaction with our books, because our books could go on to change lives and change a whole ecosystem. And that has been my experience when you start leveraging leads. Okay. So use case, let's talk about this in terms of where this happens a lot, gamification. You can use it in courses. I've helped so many people infuse gamification in their courses. So not only do they make more money from their clients, but they get their customers results because we're using gamification tactics inside. This is for coaching. There's lots of different use cases for gamification. For memberships, they say memberships people stop paying around 6 months. So what do you have at the 5 and 6 and 7 month mark to get people to keep paying? That's gamification. What's the incentivization? What's the goal? What can we over deliver on? Okay. So there's so many use cases for this. And in this particular video, we're talking about it for lead generation. We're using gamification as a lead generation mechanism. And on top of that, we want to build a list of buyers because that is the one disadvantage from selling on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing is that we're selling to Amazon's customer. And they take that very seriously. They don't want to have any misleading experiences for their customers or confusing. And they have a whole system of the right way to get reviews and the right way to leave reviews and Amazon influencers. Like there's a whole ecosystem of this. But you still provide a very important aspect of their journey. And it's when they buy a book from you. And that is something that the Amazon cannot fulfill. They don't have courses or community for your math writing skills or your anger management workbook for small boys. Like, so there is an opportunity that Amazon now serves you in this way to build a business around a best-selling book, a successful book. So when we talk about actionable steps, the most important thing that we talk about for leveraging leads from our books is that what's the end goal, right? We want people on our customer list. So now we need to reverse engineer those steps. What are they? What do they look like? And we need to create the path of least resistance for them. So in terms of KDP books, we want to be behind the title page with our QR codes. And we want to be able to add a simple URL for those people that want to type it in and aren't computer savvy, because the next one's a QR code where you open your phone and you take a picture, right? And then when you get your customer on your list, you want to nurture them. And you want to be careful that you're not just sending them to social media because that's where they came from. I would say Amazon is a form of social media. And we want to be able to build a list to build a relationship. So let me just show you. Let's just build out a siphoning leads, a lead generation page with gamification for a QR code in a book. Okay, so I'm just going to do an auto-size document. Okay, and it looks like we have Canva Magic Write in here. Should we try and use it and see how it works? Let's do Magic Write and just ask it. We are going to use 5 or more words to describe what you want to write. Write a lead generation hook inviting the reader to join the email list for some freebies. Okay, so here's our prompt. Write a lead generation hook for inviting the reader to join the email list for some freebies. Unlock exclusive freebies and stay up to date with the latest news by joining our email list today. Sign up now and receive instant access to our premium content. Okay, I'm not going to use premium content because there is a thing on Amazon. It's called disappointing content or misleading content. And if you promise to give the buyer, the book buyer, way more than what's included in the book, like, oh, join us on a free cruise for $10,000, like you'll get terminated. Okay. So we need to just be very deliberate about how we talk to our customer on Amazon's platform. It's different once they're on our email list, right? So we're just going to do that. Okay. So now if you are building a brand, you're going to want to pick something that really fits inside of your brand, right? You're going to want to make it look pretty, and you are going to want to give the customer maybe even an example. Like if this was for intermittent fasting, people have been asking me like, hey, you should do intermittent fasting book. I'm like, maybe this would be like unlock exclusive freebie intermittent fasting freebies. Okay, that's how I would customize it. And then I'm going to come over here to QR code, and I'm going to enter my QR code here. And so you're going to use your domain or wherever you're driving traffic. Now, in the comments, let me know, do you have a website set up for your business for KDP yet? And then you're going to hit, okay. And then you will essentially just save this in your account, or you will save this as a PDF, and you can go to combinedpdf.com and put it in your book where you would like. And so this is a very simple way. Now, disclaimer, you cannot do this with Kindle. You don't put QR codes and don't drive people away from Kindle with any type of URL, okay? But you can do it with a physical book. It's not considered disappointing content. Okay. So once we have that, now we can, an interesting hack too for digital marketers, you can use a bit.ly URL. You can use a special code or a special landing page so you know all these people are coming from your book. And then you can treat them completely different. Like, oh, you got the book. Your email campaigns and everything can be talking about the book, especially if your book's interactive, or like if parents got kids books, like, oh, you got this for your kid. I'm so excited. If you have a children's book, don't talk to the kids. You say, have your parents scan this QR code, right? I don't have any, I need to think if I have anything like that, but I don't really market to kids directly. I always market to the parents because there are laws around that. So let me know if you are in a position where you have a book that's selling good and you want to build a brand around it, because this is honestly a great way to increase your earnings, because now you can give them more products that aren't dependent on being published on Amazon, which totally opens the door to so many different things. Even if it's like PDFs once a month, like there are customers out there that have problems that you could probably solve for them. So please subscribe this and then check out the videos here. YouTube's actually recommending them for you. So love you guys. Peace out.